The Philadelphia Flyers are 3-0 on the series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. First home playoff game since 2018. Louis Coco here with you, Vani and Louis, Defend Philly podcast. Louis, you're currently still at Xfinity Mobile. Break it down.
Yes, I
What did
am.
you see? What was the environment like? Everything. Oh, there we go.
Over
Visuals.
there. Yes. Um, yeah, I mean, look, the Penguins controlled the game for the first period. It was when I when I was watching the first period, I was thinking to myself, man, they came out swinging again.
Hmm.
It reminded me a lot of game two, the way the Penguins came on really strong. Um, but here's the thing. What wasn't happening early in the first period, the Flyers weren't making a lot of body contact. There was not a lot of hitting. So midway through the first, maybe late in the first period, when the Flyers started laying big bodies, I mean, Tippett buried a couple guys. I think Couturier buried a guy or two. Literally, everything shifted. Everything immediately shifted as soon as the Flyers started making body contact. The game changed, and it was that way for the rest of the game. I thought the Penguins did an all right job. Like they weren't, you know, it, I mean, let's just be honest. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to beat around the bush. I mean, they kicked their ass. The Flyers kicked the Penguins' ass 5-2. It was an ass
And
kicking
you look at
for the
this and you
Flyers.
look at this series and like heading in, obviously, Flyers were not favored, but the Flyers have
No,
been the better team. The Flyers have straight up been the better team. There was a couple instances tonight where I was things that I was not too happy with. We have to get into this Dan Vladar injury update. We have to get into the environment. We have to get into everything. But overall, this team enjoys being around one another. You look at the Zegras goal, he goes right to the penalty box and bangs on the door. I've never seen five guys in a circle in the penalty box
yeah,
celebrate.
they were talking about it too. Somebody asked Konechny after the game, like, so what was it like in there? He's like, I don't know. He said Dvorak, who I guess was also in the box. He said, "Boy, wouldn't it be funny if we score here?" And then that's what Zegras did. And then someone asked Zegras, "So why did you go straight to the box?" And he's like, "I just thought it'd be funny. Like
Mhm.
I saw all the guys jumping around. I
Yes.
figured all the guys would be jumping around in the box, so I just went over there." And
Yeah.
you're right. Like they all just want to be
They
together.
want to be
Like
there. They
this
want to be
team is
together. There was another
so
goal later in the game. I can't quite remember who scored it, but right to the bench. Like every single goal, you're right to the
yep,
bench, you're right to the players. You want to celebrate with your teammates.
yeah,
And that's what winning takes. Like that's what these magical teams and these special runs have. And this team has it. This team truly has it. And it's so fun to watch because they are just embarrassing,
yeah.
humiliating,
It's embarrassing for
destroying
the Penguins.
the Pittsburgh
It's
Penguins.
embarrassing. They,
I
they,
mean,
they have nothing left. But this Penguins team has nothing left.
no.
And, every time they try and put up some sort of fight, they're just met with sticks and lanes. I mean, the Flyers have played so well, clogging up the neutral zone, their defensive zone. It's been so difficult for the Penguins to score. Of course, a weak call early in the game. And, the Penguins go on a power play and Malkin scores. And, now we're like, oh man, here we go. And then the Flyers just opened it up. Like, it's just the Penguins got nothing.
No.
And and you know what they did? And I said this before the game. The only thing the Penguins have is the ability to play dirty. That's all they can do is play dirty. And what happens? Brian Rust mugs
Oh, don't.
Travis Konechny behind the net. But here's the best part. That moment, those fights and everything, that shifted the game. The Flyers said, uh-uh,
Yeah.
not today.
No,
And
no.
just took over the rest of the game. The,
Yes.
the Penguins have nothing left.
Yeah.
This is it. They
No.
got
And I mean,
they got no bullets.
we've talked about like throwing a punch or starting a little scrum or whatever to change the momentum of a game. But it was so blatantly obvious during this game, the second that there was a switch and they were like, oh, no, 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 no. We came to play. And they did. And the Penguins are getting older, and we knew this coming in. They have an older team, and this Flyers team is young. They're excited. They don't have as much playoff experience, but they've got passion and they know what to do, and they have the power of friendship and they like each other. And there are so many things that are just working about this team right now. And like, don't get me wrong. Do I think that Mishkov should have stayed out of the box a little more? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't
But
even go there.
Couture's been playing great. Dvorak's been playing great. You look at,
Tippett's
I
been
mean,
great.
this team, Tippett, you say Tippett's been great?
Sealer, yeah, Tippett's,
Tippett's been great.
yes, I know. Tippett's been great. Sealer's been great. I thought Drysdale had a pretty solid game. Garnet Hathaway again, another
Again.
solid game.
And wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. We're what? We're 6 minutes into this? How have we not talked about playoff Rasmus Ristolainen, who
Unreal.
showed up tonight? I think the stat said one hit. I believe he had more than that. He had one goal. He had his first playoff goal. I mean, this guy, we knew. Here's the thing, coming into this postseason, I said this on the podcast, like this guy shows up in the big moments. He hasn't had a chance in the NHL, but he did it at the Olympics. He showed up and he played extremely well, which is why his draft value rose, all of that, all of that, all of that. But to see it in action, to see what we've heard about for so long and we've been waiting for was incredible. It was awesome. It was just, I mean, I literally have no words. It was incredible to watch his performance tonight. He did so well. He was
Yeah, it was
dominating.
Ristolainen. I mean, the defensive core on this team has looked just really good. They've all stepped up. York had a couple good plays tonight. I mean, it was just again, it was a total team effort. I mean, this Flyers team is just and I'm gonna probably have to rewatch the game to really absorb more of it. But
Classic.
I mean, Vladar looked good again. I was definitely a little worried about his hand. It looked like there was like a play or two before where he was kind of skating circles by the boards, by the corner, and then he said good to play and started play again, and then he got run into. I think Brian Rust kind of didn't mean to run into him. It was like an an incidental contact thing, and Vladar goes down, and trainer comes out, and I was like, here we go, and he was shaking out his hand. From what I saw, he was going like this. He was shaking out his hand. Post game, somebody asked Talkett, "Hey, what's Vladar like?" And Talk basically said, "I don't know.
No, we'll
Like
see
we're gonna have to
tomorrow.
check on him tomorrow."
I heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
heard that, which is not great. And
the way my stomach dropped when I saw
yeah,
Vladar shaking out his hand. I'm like, here we go. It's like,
so my
of
stomach
course.
dropped when he saved the puck ricocheted off his skate blade and his skate blade went out because I'm watching this on, just for a little reference, like I'm watching this on my phone on a bus. Um, And I'm like, oh, because the thing that concerned me about that was the equipment manager was not the one who immediately came out. The athletic trainer was. And so that's why I was a little concerned. And obviously I'm lucky I have the NBC commentary, so I can like kind of hear what's going on as well. But like that shook me up a little. And then the hand, it didn't. And you know what? I I'm not gonna say it. Fingers crossed that all is well. It's a great sign that he finished, but
And
he better be okay.
finished finished and didn't look
No,
hindered
no.
necessarily. Like I was watching him and it didn't look like he was in any sort of discomfort or anything. So I think that's a pretty good sign. The fact that he didn't he didn't look like he was being labored in any way. So I think that's that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a doctor, and we'll see tomorrow. But I it,
It's Dan Vladar. They need Dan Vladar.
if
I
if
don't.
he goes
Nope.
down,
Nope.
I'm not.
Nope.
Yeah,
We're not speaking
let's not
about
even
this because
let's not go
tonight
there.
there was
Yeah.
some good darn hockey, and we were able to see. Now, Lewis, I'd be remiss if I didn't go through this whole thing without asking, what was the energy like?
Oh yeah. I mean, the place is absolutely electric. I mean, I was I was talking to Will James, one of the writers, and we did a couple laps in the concourse before the game, and we were just saying like obviously we're gonna lock in during the game, but we want to just take in all the sights and sounds and everything, and it was so funny. We come off the elevator literally the first thing we see as we get off the elevator is this dude in like a monkey mask, and he starts like barking at us or whatever. And that was like, it's playoff hockey in Philadelphia. This is it. People scream, "F the Pens" and "Pens suck," and every single Penguins fan you saw was boo, getting boos, and the
Mummers.
concourse was electric, and yeah, and I mean the arena was just on fire. When Zegras scored that absolute snipe of a slap shot on the power play, was it the power play? He was on the power play, wasn't it? No.
I
Yeah,
was
I don't remember.
still getting on a bus.
I, I honestly, yeah, that's true. I honestly don't remember if it was a power play goal. I'm just too, what's in any case, when Zegers scored, the this building, I thought the roof was gonna lift off. Like I really thought the roof was gonna lift off this place. It was it was Zegers on a power play. I thought the roof was gonna lift off this place. The building went berserk, and honestly, the rest of the game they were just fired up. They weren't quiet nearly the entire game. Maybe a little bit after Malkin scored, but it, Hunter
Didn't
Brody
much.
said it to me because he was sitting next to me in the press box. He said even after the Penguins scored, it didn't feel like the crowd cared. It was just like, yeah, and then here we are. Like it was just this place was Philadelphia brings it. They always bring it to sporting events, and then they brought it tonight, and the players loved it. I mean, Sealer was saying it after the game. He's like, this is the craziest building I've ever played in front of. Nick Sealer, the craziest building I've ever played in front of.
Yep.
And he's probably not wrong. For most of these guys, it's probably the case.
No,
So
and I
it's
mean,
just
you look at it,
unreal.
you had Fletcher Cox in the crowd, you had Cooper DeJean out, you had the
Cooper
Eagles coming out
DeJean,
to support them,
Shane Gillis
Shane
was in the
Gillis.
crowd.
Yeah,
Yep,
like you had the community coming out, but I think the bigger thing is think about this from Trevor Zegras' perspective. I mean, you come from the Ducks to the Philadelphia
who
Flyers.
are that's true. I mean, the Ducks they are a playoff team right now, but I mean, what the hell do they care about hockey in Anaheim? Disney owned the team. Really? Not
I feel
anymore.
like
They used to.
the environment and the like thrill and scoring the first home playoff
Yeah.
goal in
Yeah.
what, since 2018? Like he must be he looks like he is having fun out there. He looks like he is loving it. And I you just got to be happy for the guy. I mean, he has
Absolutely.
something clicked when he came here and something is working for him and he must be on like the top of the world right now. He really must be. I mean,
I'm sure he is.
it's incredible. It's incredible to see and this team is fun to watch. Yeah, this team is fun to watch. That's all I gotta say.
And you know what's not fun to watch? And before we jump off, I just want to put my 2 cents in on this. Sidney Crosby is he is it's insufferable. It's honestly ridiculous. He gets touched by Garnet Hathaway's stick, and he fell over like a ton of bricks. He dropped as if he just got shot in the forehead. Are we serious? And then, of course, I'm not even gonna. The referees were a disaster in this game, and of course, they take Garner Hathaway to the box. I have Penguins fans in my mentions. Oh, they only took Crosby for embellishment after Garner Hathaway was crying. Typical Philly. You clearly didn't watch anything because Crosby got touched in the mouth, and it looked as if he was losing his life. It
He has
was
as many
it was
embellishment
outrageous.
calls this series as he does points. Continue.
Great, great pull. And you know what's funny? He has apparently, according to Dan Muse, the Penguins head coach, and I was in the press conference. Someone asked him, what about blah blah blah? What about the call on Crosby? And Muse just goes, Sidney Crosby has one embellishment call in 21 years in his career. Sidney Crosby doesn't embellish. I strongly disagree with that call. It's like, we didn't, our guys have done a really good job at not doing that type of stuff. And, we haven't done it all year and we didn't come into this series to do that. So I disagree with that call. What are you watching? Are you joking me? Sidney Crosby doesn't embellish. And you know what's really funny? I saw some guy from he took a video on his phone during the game. Like he was watching on TV and he took a video of it. Apparently, and it's not apparent, it's what happened. They cut to Crosby in the penalty box, and there was a fan behind the glass. Did you see this video? The fan just goes, he's like, and Sidney Crosby like turns to the fan and just like, he's like, he smirked. Total admission of guilt. It is so clear that he just embellished that call. And people are losing their minds. That was an embellishment. Typical Philadelphia. But
I mean, every
get a
every Penguins
get a
fan
clue.
somehow has found their
Get
way
a
onto
clue.
my social medias
Like,
as well.
Cope harder. Cope harder. Get a clue.
Win a
It's
game.
outrageous.
Win a
It's
game.
outrageous.
Yeah,
I just
it's
it
ridiculous.
makes me
We
so
have
upset.
good hockey here in Philadelphia. We do. We do. We
Clearly,
finally do.
we're kicking your ass all over the
Kicking
ice.
your ass. Let's go. Anyway, thank you for hopping on after the game, Lewis. I know it's getting late and I know you gotta go, but
And I have the morning show tomorrow, so
oh, okay.
I'm
We
gonna
gotta
get like
go.
about 3 hours of sleep.
That being said, as always, thanks for tuning in. We will keep up with more content as the playoffs continue, as much content as possible. So follow us on every platform you can think of because we're basically up to date and there. So, per usual, stay up to date with Defend Philly and let's go Flyers.